Hello, everyone. This is Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 35. The following are disclosures. This information is for educational purposes only, is not intended for any individual advice. Past performance does not guarantee any future results, and all investment involves risk. Here's our agenda for the week. I'll cover the news, provide a market overview over the indices, and as I stated previously, earnings season is winding down, and we have 148 companies reporting earnings. Here's our results for week 34. Provided 20 zones, went 3-1 in stocks and options, no entry 11. We have 5 stocks that closed in their respective zones on Friday. So take a look at those for this week as well. So you got Estee Lauder, Lowe's, Snow, Baidu, and BJ from last week. So you can put those on your list this week as well if you elect to so choose and trade those. Here's the earnings picture and outlook for this week. Again, like I said, we're dwindling down. However, we still have a lot of companies that are reputable companies that we can take advantage of. I went ahead and updated our stocks. So we are 54 and 40 on the year. And then I went ahead and updated our options, and we are 97 and 16. Moving into the news, as you can see on Monday, we have nothing major impacting our markets. Moving on to Tuesday, as you can see, 30 minutes after the open, the US dollar should be affected with consumer confidence report. So pay attention to the euro obviously those markets are correlated. And then in the evening, for those of you trading future and forex, be mindful of the Australian dollar with their CPI report. Another quiet day on Wednesday, nothing happening. Pretty much all day the euro will be affected. So be cognizant of that. Those of you trading futures and forex. Moving on to Thursday, again, the dollar is being affected. Unemployment claims report is going to come out, and GDP prior to the market. So expect some initial volatility at the market open. Then, lastly, on Friday, we have the core PCE price index report before the market and the Canadian dollar GDP. So again, that's going to cause some volatility at the open. Again, slow week on news. So take that for what it's worth. But we still have a lot of opportunities when it comes to earnings. Moving into the charts for this week, as you can see, our level hit, and we had a nice pullback from our zone last week on S&P 500. Like I said, it's going to be a slow week in news, so we can stagger here all week and understand that we might have a pullback. And we're going to keep the supply zone at 56.35, 34 to 56.74, and our big time frame demand zone at 51.24 to 49.49. For those of you who are a little bit more aggressive and can day trade, understand we have a gap to fill at this level right here, 54.59 to 54.10, and we also have another level right here at 53.56 to 53.01. So pay attention to these levels intraday. Again, not a lot of news happening this weekend occurring, so you can play those respectively. But on the macro picture, again, supply 56.35 to 56.74, and on the demand side, 51.24 to 49.49. Moving on to the NASDAQ. As you can see, the NASDAQ is weaker than the S&P 500. We didn't get to our level. Also understand that NVIDIA has earnings this week and everybody will be waiting for it. So that might take us up if NVIDIA has report strong earnings to our zone, or we can fall on the NASDAQ depending on what NVIDIA does on Thursday. With that being said, supply level I have for you on the NASDAQ is 22.53 to 25.92. And on the demand side, 17.581 to 17.262. Moving on to the diamonds or the Dow Jones. As you can see, the Dow Jones is stronger than the other markets. It's sitting at its all-time high. So be mindful of that. No supply in the Dow Jones. However, for those of you who are a little bit more aggressive, I'm going to give you this level right here. And that level is going to be 396 to 392. This is more of an intraday trade. For those of you that are waiting for the macro level, you're going to have to wait for 377.35 to 370.68. Now, moving on to the RUT. As you can see, the RUT is coming back to our previous levels that have been holding pretty much all year long and staying in between. That supply level is going to be 22.35 to 22.89, and on the demand side, 2018 to 1956. Moving into earnings, first company I have for you is PDD. On the supply side, 170.08 to 196.61, and on the demand side, 81.86 to 75.31. Next company, TCOM. On the demand side, 37.42 to 35.48. There's another subsequent level here at 32.05 to 30.69. On the supply side, you got 57.45 to 60.71. Next company I have for you is Box. On the demand side, 24.75 to 24.27. Understand that this level has worked multiple times. Just be aware of that. And so has the level on the 29.83 to 31.08. Moving on to PVH. On the demand side, 78.88 to 69.51. And on the supply side, 146.62 to 160.14. Next company I have for you is JWN, also known as Nordstrom. So on the demand side, 16.33 to 15.07 and 13.33 to 11.86. And on the supply side, 28.18 to 29.66. Next company I have for you is Abercrombie & Fish. No supply, as their all-time high was 196.99. The first demand level I have for you is 93.78 to 86.60. Next company I have for you is Kohl's. On the demand side, as you can see, this is the level that's been holding. 19.14 to 17.68 on the demand side, and on the supply side, $32 to 33.77. Next company is Foot Locker. Foot Locker, as you can see, this level has worked already previously one time. That level is going to be 23.35 on the demand side to 21.81. And on the supply side, we got 33.86 to 35.60. Next company I have for you is Donaldson. No supply in Donaldson. The first level I have for you on the demand side is 67.54 to 65.45. And one of the companies that everybody's going to be watching this week is going to be NVIDIA, and they don't report till Thursday. Should have some good volatility towards the end of the week. No supply on NVIDIA. Its all-time high is 140.76. These two levels are low, more aggressive levels. However, they are on a smaller time frame for those of you who want to pay attention to those. That first level I have for you is 110.85 to 107.81, with a subsequent level right below it at 106.46 to 101.85. However, for those of you on the macro picture, I'm taking it down to the level that held where 2 weeks ago the market and the world was ending. However, you can see we've recovered all that. That level is going to be 91.37 to 86.84. That's going to do it for me on NVIDIA this week. Next company is Crowd. So for CrowdStrike on the demand side, we got 172.12 to 157.41, and a subsequent level right below it starting at 135 and to 129. On the supply side, we got 367.66 to 385.55. Next company is CRM, also known as Salesforce. I got two levels for you. Just understand this level has worked 3 times, so it's more aggressive. 266.91 to 274.67. However, you got another level up above it at 293.75 to 305.99 in the event of an overshoot on earnings. On the demand side, you got 211.94 to 193.68. Next company I have for you is Five Below. As you can see, this level is already working and it has started to turn. On the demand side, 71.64 to 47.24. And on the supply side, 169.89 to 185.76. Next company is Best Buy. On the demand side, 67.39 to 62.95. On the supply side, no supply. Dollar General. On the demand side, 109.55 to 98.78. And believe, yeah, and the supply zone, I have it all the way at 270 to 206.75. So you got a lot of room to run in Dollar General if it can get going and hit our zones. So a lot of profit to be made here. Burlington Coat Factory, it is sitting in the supply zone. This is a big level right here, 265.90 to 315.36. On the demand side, 174.15 to 168.57. Next company I have for you is Campbell Soup. It's sitting in a supply zone. That supply zone is 50.18 to 52.12. On the demand side, 40.11 to 39.42. Next company I have for you is Lulu. They've had a rough year this year, going all the way from 500 plus all the way down to 224. However, that first supply zone I have for you is at 295.35 to 305.47. And on the demand side, 224.39 to 204.59. Next company I have for you is Marvel. On the demand side, 55.60 to 50.40, and on the supply side, 87.08 to 93.94. And the last company I have for you is Autodesk. On the demand side, 181.88 to 164.69, and on the supply side, 278.93 to 286.46. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us for the charts this week. With that being said, here is my contact information for those of you who are looking to see what courses I got coming up. Feel free to check out the website. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the content that I'm providing, feel free to email me. For those of you not doing so already, please go ahead and follow me on social media so that I can provide, I post trades throughout the week. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Until next time, happy trading and have a plan.